Hey, hello out there. Welcome to a night of spooky tales and folklore. Well, we all love animals, whether we love dogs, cats, um, hamsters, whatever. Well, there's always the love of animals. Oh, hello, Dory. How are you? Always the love of animals can lead us um, to to us to some cool to an encounter with the supernatural. Well, here's a story out of Mexicali, Mexico. Once upon a time, there was this young woman who loved animals, especially cats. She would go outside, and if she would see a cat, without a home, no matter how, no matter what shape the cat was, anything, she would take it to her home and raise him. She took all kinds of cats. No matter what, her house was open to any cat who needed a home. So one day, this mysterious cat came to her. Mysterious black cat, it was. The cat, the cat had a had a strange behavior. He didn't mingle with the other cats. He didn't play or did other things what other cats do. He just stood there, and for some mysterious reason, the other cats were just leaving the home. They're just leaving because they knew something bad about this cat whom came who came to their home. They knew something fishy was at it. So they all left. But one female kitty stayed. Stayed. A day later, the black cat attacked her and killed the female kitty. The young woman, the woman who helped all these poor kitties, she noticed something strange about that cat. So what she did, she put the cat in her car, drove several miles, and put the cat to roam around. Hey, Dulce, Betty, how are you? And roam around and roam around. She took the cat and took it all the way and put it in some empty lot, thinking that the cat would never come. So a few hours later, the cat was knocking on her door, wanted to come in, and she said, "No way, I'm not going to let her in." And the cat kept insisting, "I want to come in." Knocking, knocking, saying meow, meow, and all that kind of stuff. And suddenly the cat broke the window, went inside the house, and murdered the young woman. And legend has it that the cat had these evil eyes that shine like the cat was possessed, or it was a devil himself disguised as a cat. Well, you know, I'm not trying to scare people. I know a lot of friends here own cats, and I love cats. Yes, oh yes, Dulce. It's a legend uh that happened from around in Mexicali. Yeah, even Edgar Allan Poe wrote a story about a cat. Also has one story about a black cat. I haven't checked out that one out, but I'll check that out later on. I guess. Hmm. Oh yes, like La Llorona. Yes, I talked about that many times. Yep. Yeah, there's the link. Hmm. Yeah, there's perhaps a lot of There's a lot of creepy stories like these. Yeah, the cat. Okay. Hmm. Yeah, I wish I knew this one, but I don't know that one. Okay, let's see. I'm thinking about which story I want to tell because I know a whole bunch of them, but I already told a lot of them. A lot of these stories I already told a whole bunch of them. Let's see. Well, oh, I got the link there. If anybody wants to come up. Hmm. Okay, I'll try it again. Oh, thanks, Dory. Here we go. Hold on. Here we go. This is the one. I just forgot to put one letter. That's why.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Tori. Hey, welcome.
Thanks. I like to come up
Yeah.
so I can.
Oh, cool. Oh, that's cool.
Well, I like to come up here so I can talk about things I wouldn't ever talk on my own channel.
Uh, yeah. Well, last night on Evil Aid, they were talking about politics. Oh my God, it was just.
Who was talking?
It,
I missed it.
it was on Evil Abe's panel last night. It
Oh,
was
really?
him, and there was a guy from the 1A who was there, and then another girl. They were talking about the gun laws and the abortion and all that kind of stuff. I'm like, God. And Evil Abe was just,
Oh, about the vote or whatever.
yeah, yeah. It was no first of all they were talking about the Second Amendment, the that vote that the one after that New York law about the gun law, and then they started talking about abortion.
I
It
just
just,
I
yeah.
just dropped your link in a Discord, so maybe some people might see it.
Oh, okay, cool, thanks.
Just dropped your link in a Discord, so maybe some
Yeah.
people might see it.
Oh, bless you.
Just dropped your link in a Discord, so maybe some people might see it.
Oh,
Is,
I think,
am I still repeating? I just
yeah,
X'd out my YouTube. Damn
yeah.
it.
Oh, okay. Oh, I think,
Am I still repeating? I just
yeah,
X'd out my
yeah,
YouTube.
yeah.
Damn it.
Oh, okay.
This is weird because I had it muted too.
Yeah, yeah.
I think I'm gonna have to go out and come back in. Okay. This is weird
Okay,
because I had
sure,
it
okay,
muted too.
cool, okay.
I think I'm gonna have to go out and come back in. Okay. What? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, better now.
Okay. The
Better now.
the problem was is when I went to drop the link, I ended up opening another YouTube.
Oh,
So the
okay.
one I X'd out wasn't the one that was I X'd out the one that was already muted. And not
Mm.
sorry about that.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, that happened to me one time. The very first time I went on a live stream. The very first time I went on a panel. I didn't know how it worked.
Yeah, like
But
when I see this problem come up because it does come up a lot,
mhm,
especially when you have an open panel and
yeah,
new people are coming up on StreamYards and they've never done it before.
yeah,
It it's a little frustrating to well, especially when they're on their phone because your pages are hidden,
yeah,
right? So you're hearing the host say, just X, mute your YouTube or X out, and they're like, I'm not on YouTube, but they are.
yeah,
They just can't see the page. So it's
yeah.
kind
It's
of
true.
funny. It takes them forever to figure out why it just
Hmm.
continuously stays.
Exactly,
So
exactly. Because yeah, yeah, it's happened to me several times. So,
so if I open my YouTube page again,
mhm.
it's gonna make a noise.
Yeah,
So it's so annoying. Well, I could mute this part and then open it up
yeah,
and then mute YouTube
yeah. True. Mm,
because I like to. It's if people do show up, which would be cool if they did. I don't know if they will. I'm kind of like not very popular, so I'm used to like 4 or 5.
uh-huh.
That, that's okay in my
Right.
thing. So, what do you want to talk about, Carlos?
Well, we can talk about mm,
Do you
not
want me to tell
politics.
you my story about the cat that tried to murder me in my sleep?
Oh, cool. Go right ahead. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well,
Go right ahead.
I had this. My roommate had this feral cat, and I was allergic to it. So, of course, we didn't like each other immediately.
Oh,
And he rescued it from the road or something. I don't know.
mhm.
I, I don't know what the real story is. This is the story he told me. But so I was in my room watching my computer, and I lay back. I was like, I had this futon that like
Mhm.
folds out into a bed.
Yeah.
So I unfolded it so it was flat, and I kind of laid back to watch my computer, and I had my feet still on the ground, like if I was sitting, right?
Hmm.
But I was actually laying. So, and I'm wearing like not pajamas, but kind of like silky pants
Hmm.
that were a little bit loose. So, and then of course, I fall asleep watching the computer, and then I wake up in the morning and I change my pants. I see this scab. I'm going to call it a scab, but it was like a big S,
Oh, God.
and it was blood, dots of blood all the way, and it was a very skinny line. I This cat literally did that to me, and I didn't even feel it. And she was like, "This is what I'm going to do to you when you're sleeping."
Oh, God.
Like cats are, I don't know what goes on in their
Yeah.
heads, but like I like cats, but I just can't really be around them too much unless I'm not allergic to all cats. But this one, oh my God, I suffered for
Uh,
3 years with a cat in my house. I'm
yeah.
like, how can I get rid of this cat? And then, you know, she was pregnant, right, when we found her. So of course, but I wasn't allergic to any of the kittens, just the mom.
Yeah.
So,
Mom lives in.
and then she ended up dying after she had the litter, and we had to get homes for these baby kittens that weren't old enough yet, so we took them to the no-kill shelter, so I'm sure they all got homes because they were really cute
Oh, that's
and
good.
friendly and pretty,
Hmm.
so I'm sure they did, but it was just like already I was like, oh, I couldn't even deal with my roommate. He was so beside himself over this cat, dying, and
Ah, okay.
it was awful because she died in the front yard, and
Oh,
she was out in the front yard, and the neighbor went over to the cat and filmed it dying and sent it to my roommate, which is like what? How can you do that to a person? That was awful. So what an
oh,
awful thing to do to somebody. I don't know.
yeah.
I think I don't know what they were thinking either, but like maybe they thought they were doing him a favor. But I'm
Hmm.
like, are you kidding me? And then they probably didn't know that she had kittens either. Or maybe they were just trying to get him to come right away or something. He
Yeah.
didn't need to come at all, you know. I
Yeah.
didn't see
Sometimes
it
cat
happen.
could scare you.
Well,
Yeah.
I didn't see it happen, and so when he told me that he got this video, I was like, "Oh, don't show it to me, please."
No, no.
We had a we had a already like risky relationship, me and this cat, and it doesn't mean I'm not sad that she died. So I don't know. I
Hmm.
think she probably got leukemia, the feline leukemia,
Hmm.
which is a common common thing.
Yeah, it's cancer in the blood or something.
Yeah, and it makes the it makes the inside of their mouth really soft,
No.
so that when they eat things, their mouth gets torn up, and then they
Oh.
stop eating. So then they've got the cancer, and they're not eating, and she had a litter, right?
Hmm.
So, I guess after she got it, or she may have had it when she was pregnant. Like she probably already did have all these things, all of the things.
Oh man.
She just like, I don't know.
Yeah. You know what I found out yesterday? I saw a news story. It has nothing to do with what people are talking about. It's about the World Cup soccer tournament happening in November, this coming November, over in Qatar, which is a country in the Middle East, and they go by Islamic laws. Well, it
Oh,
turns
great.
out to be that they're telling the people, the fans, before they get in, that no sex, no sex, uh, unless you are married to, you bring your partner, your married partner, your wife or husband.
Right, and your wife has to be covered, right? In public.
I don't think so. I guess so. I think they do that. I guess, and they're saying if they get somebody, even in a one night stand, if he or she gets caught, it's that's right. It'll be 7 years in jail.
So are they like literally killing them in the hotel rooms or what? What's going on?
No, no, actually, it's gonna be they're gonna if they get caught. If somebody goes and has sex with, I mean, consensual sex with a person, whether if that person is not their spouse, they will get 7 years in jail if they get caught.
Oh,
Yeah, that's what they were saying. That's what they were warning people.
oh yeah.
I
I don't know if
think
I.
twice.
Yeah, that's a tough one because soccer is very popular. And who's
Yeah.
playing? Who's playing? What teams?
Well, the U.S. Well, there's several groups. The U.S. It's in the group with England, Iran, and Wales.
Oh my gosh!
And,
And
and
there's no
Canada.
drinking. There's no drinking there. No alcohol.
No, there's no drinking. No, no.
So,
Mhm.
because I know, I met this couple from, I think they were originally from maybe either South Africa or England. I can't remember, but they were in Saudi Arabia with their kids for a couple years,
Mhm.
and they said there's no drinking there, but they actually have a private beach where the foreigners would go and they could have alcohol there. And
Yeah.
I don't know who. I guess the government, like from whatever country you're from, would bring the alcohol to you,
Yeah.
like people from the embassies that won't get checked
Hmm.
and they
Yeah. Good.
transport stuff. But
Hmm.
yeah, so that if you want to have like a party, you can go to this private beach.
I remember during the Persian Gulf, there was during Desert Storm, there was this guy that his wife sent them a bottle of whiskey, and he had to uh, give it away or something. He had to give it away to his superiors.
Oh yeah, to
He
give it
couldn't
to
keep
the
it.
yeah whoever he
No,
got
he
caught.
could.
In other words,
Yeah, he got caught and he couldn't keep it.
right? It's like crossing the border with alcohol.
Yeah, sure. Oh
I'm
yeah.
surprised he actually got to. You know what? He probably didn't even get to see it. They
No,
might have
no.
opened the package before he got it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So
Well,
it's
you can cross the border, from Canada. You can cross by one bottle of
hey,
booze
look,
from.
I have a
Yeah.
crossing the border story because I used to cross the border a lot, and sometimes I would take the Greyhound.
Yeah.
Sometimes I would take the casino bus because it was
Hmm.
free, but it took you to a casino. That was the only drawback.
Hmm.
But so I would take the bus to like
Hmm. Yeah. The bus.
Seattle, maybe, or
Yeah.
sometimes whatever. So one time I'm on the bus and we stop at duty free. First thing we do is stop at the
Hmm.
duty free. So I buy some liquor and everyone's buying. It's the legal age to buy liquor in Canada is 18,
18. Yeah.
right? So there's these kids there. I didn't know that they weren't 21. Otherwise, I was something. They went up to the cashier and
Yeah.
they said, "Can I buy this? I'm 20 or whatever they were, 19, 20." And she goes, "Oh yeah, no problem." She didn't tell them that the border they wouldn't be able to cross with it. If I had known that, because you can actually buy as much as you want going in, you just can't leave with it coming back out.
No, no, you can't buy. No, you can buy it if you're 18 in Canada, and drink it. But if you're 18, you can't cross it. You got to be 21.
Right. So they're on the bus and
Yeah.
they got their it was so sad. He had like a 6 pack and a little bottle of like
Yeah.
some kind of liqueur. And they
Hmm.
were from France or someplace. They weren't from they were like really traveling from foreign
Hmm.
countries, right? They weren't from Canada or the US. They were from Europe or something like that. And so I was looking out the window, and the guy checks his bag, checks his ID, and then he makes the guy dump the beer, his like little six pack with the rings on it, like open them all up, dumps the beer into the garbage can, and then opens the liquor, dumps it in the garbage can. So I thought, if I had known that, and I don't think I even bought alcohol, if I had known that, I would have carried it across the border, you know.
Hmm.
So I just didn't. I wasn't thinking that they didn't have someone over 21 with them, you
Hmm.
know. But yeah, they take this alcohol thing very seriously.
Yeah. Well, especially here in the U.S. Going across the country
I
in the
think
U.S. Yeah.
I don't know what the other countries' legal age is for drinking.
Well, in Mexico, it's 18.
Yeah, I think almost everywhere is 18.
Yeah.
Only in the U.S. it's 21.
Well, here it goes. Back in the day, like in the early 80s, if you went to certain states like Texas had 19 the age of
Oh,
drink.
they did.
Yes, but what happened? This is why the whole country became 21. Well, when Reagan was president, he threatened the states if they don't pass legislation to to uh, uh, to make the legal age 21. He said, if you guys don't do it, I'm going to cut all the highway funds for your states. You're not going to get no highway funds.
Oh yeah, I think Nancy was into mothers against
Yeah,
drunk drivers.
mothers. Yeah, yeah. It was about a woman whose son actually here in California, his son went over, I think, to Arizona, and on his way or something, he got into an accident drinking with alcohol and died. And that's how mothers against drunk driving started. But
Well, I always thought they did it the wrong way around, because they should have really, instead of raising the drinking limit, they should have raised the driving limit to 21,
yeah, well, yeah, could be.
so
Yeah,
that they could practice their drinking for three
yeah.
years before they were allowed to drive.
I got a joke. I always say this is one. This is a very controversial joke. If this joke were to go on television, the lady that started Mothers Against Drunk Driving is about the same age as my mother, in her mid 80s now, if she's still alive. Well, let me tell you a story. Let me tell you something. Back in the day in Mexico in the 1950s, you can actually go to a certain place, to a bar. It wasn't an average bar where you go in, you have a seat, or you sit on the bar in order to drink. No, no. What it was sort of like a drive-in bar. When people think of drive-in and food, you think of mall shops and hamburgers and all that kind of stuff. No, but here was, you order alcohol. You went with your date, and you told this waiter, okay, I want the rum and coke like that, and the rum and coke would, and the waiter will bring you the rum and coke to your car, and that's where you drink it. Give me another beer. Yeah, yeah. I mean, this was in the 1950s. When those things were not regulated. You know, drunk driving, like as it did in the 80s and so on. But I always have to joke that the Mothers Against Drunk Driving, she was a young girl back then. She would have loved that back
Well, I remember when that whole movement started,
then.
and I was under 18 at the time. And
Yeah,
it literally, I never ever in my life had a drink and drove ever because of that campaign. Because
yeah,
before that, I didn't know, like parents, they were diplomats, so they were protected, like they couldn't be stopped for anything. So, my dad and mom would just drink and drive all the time with us all in the car, you know. So I didn't know as a kid growing up
yeah,
that people got into, serious trouble if caught, number one, or
yeah,
that so many there were so many deaths caused by drinking and driving because
exactly.
my parents never talked about it. And apparently, it
Yeah,
was okay with them. Uh, when I saw that, I told my parents I'm never going to um, drive, and I'm never going to get into a car where the driver is drinking again. So
no,
this isn't. I'm not going anywhere with you guys.
no, no. Well,
I thought, seriously, I never did. I rode my bike. I was like,
mhm.
whatever. I'm riding a bike. Of course, you can get in trouble for drinking and riding a bike.
Well,
So,
speaking of
okay, go.
well, speaking of drinking and driving, this happened about almost about 20 years back. Back in the early 2001, it happened. I was at a party. I was down in Mexico. We were having a good time, partying, drinking, and I got so drunk that night. I remember, and I was dancing with this, and I asked this woman to dance with me. She danced, and this other guy was asking her to dance. And that's another story about that. So I go back to my seat, and there's my friend, and he's straight, and he's so drunk, just like me. And he's telling me, "Oh man, you did it, Carlos. Man, you went out. You're going out with Georgina. That's great. Oh, all right, that's great." He was drunk. Well, guess what happened?
What?
After he left, he got into he drove home, and he was drunk. He drove home with his wife, and he nearly and he nearly got killed. He crashed into a power pole.
Oh my gosh.
He nearly got killed. Guess what? And every time I think about that, I always say to myself, "Oh my God, I was with him, what would happen if they would have died? Oh my God, I always
Yeah, you would have felt terrible. But you were drunk too,
yeah,
so what did you do?
yeah, it's true, yeah, because I was so
I mean,
drunk.
you
Oh my
couldn't.
God,
You could only stop him from going anywhere because you couldn't drive him. So,
exactly,
you know.
exactly, because everybody was drunk that night. I mean, I was drunk. Uh, uh,
Now,
Fred
if
was
I was
drunk.
actually gonna get drunk, because I didn't usually get drunk when I went out, I would just have a couple of drinks, but I still
Yeah,
wouldn't drive. But if I was actually gonna get drunk and I knew it, I was either taking the bus or walking. I just
yeah.
no, not doing it.
Well, in my case at that time, the place where I was staying, it was only just 1 block away. I just walked.
Yeah, walking.
Yeah, it
Walking
was
is
just one
fine.
block away.
I
Yeah,
almost
it was
got
just
hit
one
by a
block.
train once, but it because I
Mhm.
was drunk trying to cross the train tracks.
Oh my
Literally, I
God.
didn't see the train coming, and
Yeah,
then suddenly, well, because I was on the university grounds, I was drinking at the
uh-huh.
the university pub,
Yeah,
and I was walking. There is an underground thing, but at night, girls don't like to go in that underground that goes under the road and the train track because there
yeah,
could be like a guy down there
yeah,
lurking, waiting for you. So I was just going to cross the tracks and do it that way. And
yeah,
oh man, all of a sudden, because it was going by the university, I guess it's considered an intersection. It rang its horn,
hmm,
and I looked and I saw the light in the distance, and I stepped back off the track just in time, and I could literally almost feel the side of the train against my body. I was that close
oh man,
to the train, so I almost bought it that night.
hmm,
I was young. I was like probably 17 or 18.
hmm. Oh man, man, me too. I don't know if I did something, but oh man, I don't know if I told you the story about my friend who got drunk about that who got drunk one night and got scared and saw this donkey and he ran home and he thought it was a donkey that everybody was talking about. That was the point. Ah,
Oh
I
yeah,
oh
I
yeah,
remember that story, the donkey story.
yeah, yeah. That's all. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Was that because he was drunk? Oh yeah,
yeah, he was. Yeah, he thought it was a
and it
donkey.
scared.
Everybody was. Yeah, thinking it was a donkey. Everybody was talking about.
Yeah, I didn't ever really do a lot of drinking, so it would have been a shame if I was to end up dead because of drinking for like the one night
Um,
in the month that I decided to have some drinks. It was
Mouth
scary
drinking.
though. My heart was
Yeah.
beating out of my chest. I was like, oh no.
Oh my God. True. Yeah, I got this. Yeah, I knew. I had two uncles. Well, actually, yeah, they were my great uncles, my mom's uncles. Two of them were heavy drinkers. Heavy drinkers. They drank. They drink uh, heavily all the time, and they
And they go to
heavily.
work and everything, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that was my parents.
My uncle
They had
was
good
like,
jobs too, and they drank
yeah.
every day, and it was hard liquor, not beer. You
Oh
never
man,
see beer at our house. It was all hard liquor. It was Scotch whiskey, and my mom drank rye whiskey.
speaking of that, that a Canadian guy I was telling you about. He's live right now and he's drinking
Who's
online.
that?
He's known as White Tupac. He's on the board
Oh, him.
committee. Yeah,
Is he Canadian? I
yeah,
don't watch him. I heard about him, but I haven't watched him ever.
yeah. Yeah. He's drinking right now on his live stream.
Does
Yeah,
he
he comes
sound
here.
like he's getting drunk?
Well, I don't know if he's drunk, but sometimes he gets really drunk. Mhm.
Yeah, Abe sometimes drinks
Yeah, Abe, yeah, yeah,
when he probably drinks every time, but sometimes he drinks a
yeah.
little bit more than other times. Let's put it that way.
Oh yeah, it's true. Mhm. Yeah, and he's confessed. He says, "I'm an alcoholic." He says, "I'm an alcoholic."
Oh, does he say that? I didn't
Yeah,
know. I didn't know about that.
yeah.
Like some people, then he is drinking every time he goes live. I'm sure. I'm sure.
Yeah, well, yeah. Well, he was on a side chat this morning. I saw him. It was over at that guy Mark Jerry. There were. I mean, there was some argument going on over there. They had some. There's always something going on over there, fighting.
He was probably up all night then if he was on a morning panel.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
probably.
They were talking about those politics and everything.
Like the way I look at it, I remember when I was young and impressionable and would listen to people, most of the people you would see like talking politics back in the old days, they were like actors and things like that. And I always thought, what? Why would I listen to them? They're not skilled in anything. They just read scripts. Like why would I be impressed with their opinion? Like why does it? I'm not saying that they're all dumb or anything like that, but like who
Yeah.
cares, really? That's why I don't discuss politics much because like
I mean,
it would
neither.
it would
I
be
don't
hard
like that
to know
either.
all the details of everything unless you watched
It,
every
it,
single.
it causes conflict all the time.
Yeah.
I remember. I remember about 10 years ago when I was in a. I'm. You know. YouTube was kind of new to me. Well, I've been on YouTube a long time, but only just to listen to videos. I never went live or went on live streams to get a chance. But I come from mostly the Facebook community over there, and they were. They had there was the national elections in Mexico, and I'll go to these sites, these group pages of Mexico and everything, because I speak the language very well, and and there was some fights there about politics, about the election, and then everything. Oh my God! Some people were cussing other people out, and it
Yeah,
was horrible.
you can't can you go on panel when you're in Facebook? Do they do
Facebook.
live panels like YouTube? Or is this just people in
Well,
the chat?
Facebook. No. Facebook doesn't. Well, you can have StreamYards in Facebook
Oh, you can?
too.
Oh, yeah, you can. You're
Yeah.
right. You're right. You can. I just remembered that. Yeah, I don't like to connect to Facebook from StreamYards because I have about 500 people on my Facebook, and I used to work with all of them. So I don't
Yeah.
want
Well,
those
yeah.
people watching me. I'm like, they'll all start
Yeah.
talking about me because
Well, on
I left that city a long time ago, right?
Facebook. Well, on Facebook, I got a lot of old high school friends over there and everything. Yes, on Facebook, I used to be part of a community. It was more. I call it more. I was snowflake community. They got call it. It was people, upper class people, in Tijuana. They lived in the best neighborhoods. They went to
In
the best
Mexico,
schools.
right? In Mexico,
Yeah,
you're talking? Yeah.
yeah, in Mexico. Yeah, yeah, in Tijuana. Yeah, and I was part of that community. And I mean, they were pretty strict. There was no cussing, no none of that stuff, uh, and no politics like here always. But there were still fights. All the once in a while, there were still fights. People calling other people out, this or that. People,
Right. And that's
yeah,
why people don't really, I don't know. Like out of those 450 people or 500 people I have on my Facebook,
yeah,
only like 3 of them ever go live.
yeah.
And it's usually they go live like showing their kids basketball game or something
Oh
like
my
that. They don't
God.
they they, they don't go live and start talking crap or anything like that. They're pretty
Exactly. It's
conservative
true. Yeah, yeah. I
because they
see
all have
people here.
jobs. They all have
Yeah,
jobs. They don't wanna lose their job over YouTube. Like, all of those
exactly.
people, they're younger than me. I was kind of like the old lady in the
Yeah.
crowd.
Well, when I was on Facebook, all those people, a lot of them were about in the same, were about years older, like 5 or 10 years older than I am, and I'm here. I'm one of the oldest.
Right. I'm one of the oldest here too.
Oh yeah,
And when I was working at that job where I got all those
yeah,
Facebook friends, we had one lady who was 97
yeah.
still working.
Oh man, I have this lady in on Facebook. There's this lady I know who's uh, in her early 80s. She's still a body attractive, believe it or not, because she takes good care of herself. And guess she went to school uh, with some hottie actress from back in the day.
Who was it? Do you
Well,
know?
well, I'm gonna tell you. I'm
Okay.
gonna say the initials. Let me see if you guess. R.W.
Raquel Welch.
Exactly.
See,
Yes.
I know who was hot back in the day. She
Yeah.
was one of the hottest. The other one that
Yes.
was hot was, the little blonde one,
Oh,
oh, can't think of her name. It'll come to me later.
yeah.
But she's not like a lot. She didn't do a lot of movies, so a lot of people don't know who she is. But she was in like movies like the 007 movies and things like that.
Oh,
But she was
Ursula.
tiny, a little tiny
Yeah.
blonde. She kind of looked a little bit like Pamela Anderson, but cute,
Oh,
prettier.
okay. Ursula Andress.
No, not no.
Mm,
She Ursula Andress was tall. I'm
yeah,
talking about
tall.
this
Yeah.
little tiny. I think she was
Oh,
originally from like France or someplace like that.
okay, okay. I think that.
Uh,
Yeah,
I
the name
can't think
rings
of
a
her
bell.
name now.
Yeah, yeah,
Can't think of it. I'm too
yeah.
old
She
to think.
was. Yeah, yeah. She went to school with that lady. With her too.
Raquel Welch.
Yeah, Raquel. And she even showed photos of herself back in '58 when she was when she was awarded a queen or something, like a homecoming queen, and there was and at the ceremony was one of in those days was a man named Carlos Amador. And Carlos Amador back then he was one of the top producers in the Mexican film industry.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know she was Mexican.
No, 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 no. Well, they say
Raquel, I mean.
she's yeah. They say she's half. I think half of us.
Okay.
Yeah, half. But this lady, she okay. She lived in Tijuana in those back in the 50s and 60s, and but she came to school here in a school here, right, not too far from where I am. Well, the school's no longer here because she even told me to find out about if the school was still open, and I told her no, it's closed many years ago. It was a girls' Catholic school, and
Right.
I told her no, it's they closed it years ago. Yeah, and that's where she met Raquel Welch.
At Catholic school.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, she does look Italian. I
yeah,
would have taken her for Italian.
yeah.
She looked a little bit like Sophia Loren,
Oh, exactly.
which
Yeah,
was like my mom and dad's favorite was
yeah,
Sophia Loren. They liked her a lot.
yeah. My mom loved Tom Jones back in the day.
My cousin loved Tom Jones. That
Mhm.
was so funny. She made us watch that show. Like we
Oh
wanted to
yeah,
watch something else. We're like, no, we want to watch this. She goes, nope. Tom Jones is on. We're watching this.
I, I was very little. My mom had it on TV because being born on a border town, you got to watch all the American channels.
Right. Same in
Yeah,
Canada. That's what we saw. But I was in Hong Kong when I was watching Tom Jones,
yeah.
and they had two British TV stations. So Tom Jones is British. So
Oh
of
yeah.
course we had him, or
Oh yeah. That's right.
He's Welsh or something like that.
Yeah, Welsh. Yeah.
But he's still British. That's Britain,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Great Britain.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah. That's
you
yeah.
know who
That's
my
what it.
dad met who was really famous
Cool.
was Burt Reynolds.
Ah, cool.
He was staying in the same hotel in LA,
Uh
and
huh.
he was filming the movie called The End. I don't know if
Yeah.
you remember that movie. I love
Oh
that movie.
yeah. I seen it. I seen it.
Anyway, so my dad had to go to work. He was down because he was working at the Canadian consulate, and
Hmm.
he was down there for a few days before whatever was going on, and he had to. He went down at 6 a.m. for breakfast, and there was Bert sitting there. So my dad just went and was minding his own business, sat down at a table in the hotel. And
Hmm.
Bert came over and sat with him and bought him breakfast. He said he was a really cool guy.
Yeah.
Super cool, you know. So, I guess
Yeah.
he had an early call for the film studio that day.
Yeah.
So he was up early.
Yeah. Yeah. I see that movie.
That was a good movie. Yeah. I should watch it again. It's a
Yeah.
good
I
one.
see it. Yeah. It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I see it. Yeah.
I saw it at the theater, believe it or not. Because I
Yeah.
was like around, I don't know, 20, 21,
Hmm.
something like that when that movie was made.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah. That's kind of funny. I saw it when it came out on cable. Came out on cable. I saw it because I couldn't see that in the theater because I wasn't old enough to get in back then. So I saw it when it came out on cable, as well as The Exorcist. When it came out, I saw it on cable, and believe it or not, I was about 12, but I saw The Exorcist. I wasn't even afraid. I wasn't even scared. It was the first time I saw it. I wasn't even scared. I think it's because I got so scared of a lot of real stories of horror. That's why. But I didn't even scare the hell nothing. I was just I saw. So your dad used to work in the diplomatic corps, Canada. Hmm. Oh, Oh, we lost her. Okay. Well, let's see if she comes back. Yeah. Mm. Well, I'm gonna hit the sack, but maybe I'm gonna go live tomorrow. But thanks for all of you coming here.